The Niners were as impressive as it gets last night. We'll get into all of it. Aaron Rodgers' debut, full first game as a Jet. We have three-time All-Pro Devonte Adams on the show. The newly paid Cowboy superstar CeeDee Lamb is on the show. We'll talk Duck. We'll talk Micah. We will talk their Week 2 battle. A big one for the Bengals coming up against the Chiefs. We'll dig all around the league. And, it's Tuesdays. It's attaboy time in the NFL. Niners Jets. Watch the whole game. I don't watch television, so when I do, the commercials really stick out to me because I don't ever see any of them. It's like watching the world premiere of a million things. Wild tweeting by me yesterday. Appreciate the engagement from everybody, hanging out, watching a good old football game on a Monday. The Niners are going back to the Super Bowl, and that is how I'm starting the show. It's going to be a rehashing, a rematch, a part deux of Chiefs Niners as far as I'm concerned after Week 1. They look like they're in Week 10 form. They look like they're in postseason form on both sides. As far as this game last night where we got to see Brandon Ayuk back on the field, no Christian McCaffrey, and Ayuk didn't have a big day. We'll get to that with our wide receivers on the show, Devonte Adams and CeeDee Lamb. The offense for the Niners went 2 for 5 in the red zone. None of it mattered. Trent left, he trotted off, he came back on. None of it mattered. Jordan Mason and the Niners dominated the Jets last night. The Jets, who I do believe are a contender. Aaron Rodgers looked great last night. We'll get to that. And it might not have been the most lopsided scoreboard, but I don't know if a team... I was bored at times in this game. I hate that. I could not have been itching for this game more, but they were in control on the Niners side so much that I forgot what Aaron looked like. I don't know if his 40-year-old Achilles joints were just freezing up on the sidelines. Look what happened by the numbers. The moment the Jets scored to take that early lead, we get to see Rodgers for the first time. Niners outscore the Jets 29-6. Sure, they quadrupled their time of possession, the Niners. They outgained them 391 yards to 117, tripled them in total plays run, and had 6 times as many first downs. The strategy clearly... Aaron Rodgers can't beat us if he doesn't have the ball. That was the strategy. That must have been so frustrating for Aaron and that side. I can't imagine. But then to actually pull off that game plan, it's all cute and nice and said and done. The fact that you can do that without the guy to do that, and Christian McCaffrey, is unreal. This was a Shanahan masterclass. He loves tormenting his former proteges. We talked to George Kittle about it. It'll be great to see Kyle Shanahan unleashed against Saleh, who he knows in and out. What a chess match that'll be. Wasn't much of a chess match, if you asked me. Shanahan's won 9 of 10 with his starters against McVay. 3-0 in the playoffs against LaFleur, and now he does this to Saleh? That's a woof. That is a woof for everybody else. And you got to give credit to Jordan Mason, star of the morning here, third-year back out of Georgia Tech. Most carries of any 49ers running back in Kyle Shanahan's entire tenure. He held that thing. Every time I looked up, 28 times, 147 yards, and a score. We saw Debo back there a bunch, too. Hamilton and I were texting each other like, is this new? Is this what's going to happen here? He tied a career high with 8 carries. We talk about the Niners and their skill players and star power a lot, but this win, shout out to Kyle Juszczyk, too, this was about physicality. And to do that to a Jets team and a Jets defense that boasts itself, that prides itself on toughness, that is an FU. That is about as big of an FU as you can give. It is clearly, I don't know, they're ready to go. There's no distractions, loose end, Super Bowl hangover. Give me a break. Who's beating them in the NFC? I want to know. Tell me who's beating them in the NFC. At Up and Adams Show. Hit me up. You're watching on MSG Network. You're watching on YouTube, on FanDuel TV. You're watching later on Max. You're watching later on True TV. Who's beating the Niners? I want to hear from you. Down the stretch, of course, to take their spot to play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl in New Orleans. At least that's what it looks like now. Okay, that being said, the McCaffrey thing. Let's get into this. I've been up there twice in the last month, okay? What I'm feeling is he's clearly not 100%. Was a scratch yesterday. We had the whole Mason Shanahan thing with the podium. When is he playing? Whatever. Let's listen to Kyle and what he said when he was asked if there were any concerns about the injury long term.
It's been lingering the last few weeks, but it's getting better and better, and hopefully it'll be better next week.
There was a report that Christian probably wouldn't play against Minnesota just because it's a short weekend on turf. You're saying?
I'm saying it's amazing. That person must be God, because we just found out he wasn't playing today, and I have no idea how he's going to feel tomorrow or the next day. I thought he was playing this whole week until today, so I don't know. Who knows that he's not playing next week.
This has the potential, I hate the word linger. Shout out to the Cranberries, excellent song from the 90s. Not when it comes to leg injuries with my running backs. Hamilton, I hope Kyle and company, and they will, I'm sure, play this really conservatively, right? This is a game changer. This is who gets you that Lombardi. So we'll see what it's like over the next few weeks. The thing I don't love is that I feel like it keeps changing. Like, I don't know if you've tracked it, but like back in the day, I used to like do the Roto World blurbs, and you'd see like exactly what was going on. And I feel like it's gone from like a calf to an ankle. I mean, it's like the hip bone's connected to the femur bone. Like, it's sort of been all over the place, and I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah, the word Achilles was connected to it yesterday, which obviously is super scary. And it went from this, we're holding him out, the reports coming out of camp it was precautionary. We're holding him out just out of caution. He'll be ready for week 1. That was kind of the vibe all along. And for this to happen kind of last minute yesterday is concerning.
Yeah, I don't like the jumping around from what it is, and that becomes a bit of a game. And if you're tracking that, that's not good. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it doesn't linger, but I do hope they wait. Don't rush him back. No need to do that. Clearly, as Mason is the All-Pro of 2024 so far, move over Saquon. He can. I mean, that's the genius of Shanahan, right? Like he makes it work. Everyone was geeking out and just like completely losing their mind over Shanahan's ability to use these guys the way that he did yesterday to keep it going and put my poor Aaron Rodgers on ice. Can't wait to talk to Devonte Adams about that. And let's get to this Jet side. And, of course, if you don't have Christian available to you, we'll help you on waivers with fantasy stuff later on in the show. As for the Jets side of this, I'm not panicking, not even a little bit, because I think there's a lot of good to take from this, a lot of positivity, a lot to be grateful for. I think the Niners are just great, and that's the team to beat, and I don't know who's going to beat them. Aaron, what did he show us last night when we got to see him? He can still sling it. Okay, AR, we love that. He lays some absolute beauties in there, okay? Not that I had any doubts. I really didn't. He actually, to see him make throws like this, to see his face have that Aaron Rodgers face, him getting hit a little bit, I'm sure he thinks he was barely touched, I'm sure. Especially after seeing what Kirk Cousins, right, in stark comparison, looked like week 1 coming off his Achilles. Let's listen to Aaron after the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff's correctable, which is great for coaches. It's frustrating for players because we know how close we were/are, but no time for that. We're going to move on to Tennessee quickly, and then we got a game 4 days after that. So this is a tough opener for us, travel-wise and schedule-wise, but no excuses. We got to play better. I got to play better, and we'll bounce back next week.
I like that he's positive. I like that when Tyrod was in, he was there cheering and all of that. He mentioned coaching there. By the way, great jacket, great look on that, Aaron Rodgers. My biggest question was coaching during this offseason when I was there. Well, tell me about Saleh. Tell me about this, because the talent we know is there. The talent alone isn't going to get them where they want to go. It's a very competitive AFC, as we all know, and it's hard to be inspired coaching-wise by what we saw last night. That's just the truth. Beyond the coaching, if you're Hassan Reddick, I kept thinking that while I was tweeting about Val Kilmer with y'all last night. I was thinking, if you're Hassan watching this game, are you just like, life is good? This is the best leverage he's had yet, people. Not great for the Jet side of things as far as that's concerned. And as good as the defense is, and as many stars as they have, blatantly clear as day, that they need help on that front and up front. So if I'm Joe Douglas, if you got to get this deal done today, or it is panic mode after watching that last night and Mason do his thing and everybody do their thing. A lot to work on for the Jets, a lot to build off, but to be, a Jets fan that's in the dumps at all this morning, absolutely not. I'm not going to stand for it. So you guys watching on MSG Network in New York, we have Devonte Adams to maybe give some confidence. I'm sure he loved what Aaron Rodgers looked like last night. He had that Aaron Rodgers face, you know? He was feeling himself. I don't know that anybody can read Aaron Rodgers' mind better than this guy. Devonte, we'll talk about some of these receivers behind you, too. We got, Diggs. Okay, Chase, that's what you want to talk about? Sure.
However you want to do it.
Amazing. Hamilton, where are the pickups going to be in the beginning of the D?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. Are Jets fans panicking? So you think we should or no? Okay.
Jets fans?
Yeah, you're in New York. Tell me. No one's panicking,
A little
right?
bit.
No way.
It's not as much as I've seen in the past from Jets fans, for sure. They're kind of a quick to panic group, but I think, they understand what the Niners are. I don't think they expected to win this game. They liked what they saw to Rodgers. It was frustrating that their defense got pushed around like that, I think, for them, because that's what they've hung their hat on, for the last couple of years. And to see them not be able to get off the field, I think was the concerning part.
Quinnen, I love Quinnen. Looks like he's respectfully 12 years old still. Like, I love watching Quinnen on the side because he's grown so much. He's like he's very much adult now from when we knew him back when he was in the draft process. But then you look at him and I'm like, you're so wonderful and pure joy. But he was not happy last night. That was not great.
Yeah,
I think it's just it is the coaching. It's just give me something to hang your hat on. And there's no worse look than having to, be like me next to a supermodel, it's kind of I'm I don't know, Shanahan's a 10. Shanahan's an NFL 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's why also
hard.
too, it's we've seen Shanahan do that to every coach he's faced at points. So don't want to overreact to that either. The offensive line too, that they did, a big part of this offseason was rebuilding that. They didn't look great. So, but again, when you have new pieces, sometimes it takes time for that to come together too.
I just feel like I was robbed of my Aaron night.
I know you were as frustrated as the Jet fans. You're I just want to see him. What
I
he
was
looks like on the
texting you,
field.
and I was like, I'm not that I don't love the Niners, but I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm legit bored.
Yeah.
Where is he? Get him out here.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe
there was
the
a
time of
stretch where we
possession.
saw him on the field for 2 minutes out of an hour span of time because of halftime and everything else.
So imagine if you're Aaron and
it.
you've waited all this time, you've got a Netflix special in the books, you've done ayahuasca 19,000 times, and you're in anticipation of finally getting out there in the Bay, which he lies and says it doesn't matter, but it obviously does, and then you get no playing. He has to be so frustrated.
Yeah.
I would be so pissed. Anyway.
That's the genius of Shanahan.
All right, let's do this. I'm excited. CeeDee Lamb, but we got Devonte Adams.
Better sound the alarm. Better stop. Better get out my zone and out my way. Out my way. Devonte Adams has it for a touchdown. I don't play. Touchdown. Better sound the alarm.
He's my favorite wide receiver. He's the best wide receiver. 3-time All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, and has twice led the NFL in touchdown receptions. Devonte Adams, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm so great. Where are you?
I'm down in my man cave, actually.
Oh, is that near the place where you can get breakfast crunch wraps and breakfast burritos and cinnamon twists, or somewhere else?
No, that's on the first floor. That's the first floor.
Let me see these jerseys. Can we flip? Let me see what we got here. I see. Who
we
else?
got the Super Bowl winners on the top. We got the LSU boys on the second row right here. We got Kabi, Ayuk, Diggs. We got Devin,
Love Dev.
Slay, Mike.
Mike, wow.
Then we come on over here and we
Let's
got
do it.
couple more guys that, they mean a lot to me. So
Which one? What's the number one? Give me the GOAT. What is the one that means the most to you?
the GOAT,
Yeah.
I'll go off of when I received the jersey, and I'll say probably Drew Brees. That was the one that was most exciting because he actually asked for my jersey, so that was the one that caught me the most off guard.
Love that. Okay, we're so happy to have you this morning. We're going to get into Ayuk. We're going to get into Ja'Marr Chase. Wide receivers, the hot topic always. But let's get into this game last night. The free play king was back. Aaron Rodgers, first touchdown. Talk me through this. You know him better than anyone. What is he thinking?
Well, first, I know the first thing he was thinking for sure was when that D lineman came, you would have saw a pissed off Aaron Rodgers had they blown the play dead and didn't let him get the playoff. So that happened to us quite a bit in Green Bay, where that D lineman comes upfield unevaded and they want to kind of protect him. But I think the back being on that side mixed with the guy kind of jumping back a little bit helped. But yeah, that's that magic right there. Obviously, they practiced that, and Allen having been with us in Green Bay for quite some time, he's fully aware of how that operation goes. So wasn't surprised. I just kind of smiled and clapped it up for the guys when they converted on that one.
I love that. They didn't get the win. I want to know from your eyes how he looked to you. Troy Aikman said something about him being a little rusty, not getting into the rhythm right away. How did AR look to you?
Well, honestly, I mean, he looked really good to me. He obviously is playing this game. It's a lot more than just, what you're bringing. When you see the results out there, it's a combination of the O-line blocking, the guys making plays, catching the ball, obviously throwing, timing, all these things. And for him having missed a full year of competitive football, I think he looked pretty good out there. They went up against probably the best team in football right now, one of them at least. So it's never going to be easy getting any victories in this league. But when you go down to Santa Clara, it's always going to be tough that first game. So I don't know if rust is the thing. I think everybody has a little bit of rust regardless, if you played the last season or not. So that first game is always going to be a little tricky, but I think he'll bounce back for sure.
And when he had time, he looked really sharp. That's what I noticed. So I think that there's a lot of questions I have about the O-line. You're nodding. You agree?
Yeah, well, I don't know as much about that, but I know, like I said, generally speaking, that's how it works. It's not just going to be on one guy. The O-line obviously is going to have many plays where they hold up for him, and I'm sure, he won't be the superhero every single play of this year. So it's a two-way street. So you guys got to figure that out, and then once they iron that out, they'll be rolling. You
have that game-worn, grass-stained Ayuk jersey right behind you. Perfect transition. This is why we're family. This is why the Adams thing works. Because I wanted to ask you about him. Because for some reason, wide receivers get all the blame these days if their offenses aren't clicking. He had a couple of drops in the game. Peyton Manning, GOAT, said there's a reason for training camp. You need it. We need the reps. What do you think? Is that fair?
Definitely fair. I think depending on the position you play, sometimes it's more critical than other situations. But obviously the position that we play, it's a big reps game in terms of how you build your confidence. So not having had those competitive reps, I'm sure made it a little tough. But just like the Aaron situation, not being on the field for a little bit, sometimes it takes the first couple games and you can bounce back and come back ready to play. BA is a great player. I got to chat with him when they came out here, and we played him in preseason a little bit. So got in his mind and gave him a little bit of, my knowledge as well. But he'll be just fine. Obviously, that first game and not having had too many practices, it'll make it tough on him. But he'll be all right.
I just feel like we can't kill him for not making that diving catch. Like to me, it's not as if it's easy.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not easy, but you know how it goes. I'm sure he was walking around the rest of the game going, I knew that's what would come with, the not being in camp and then coming out here and not making a play. Because had he been in camp and not made it, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal, obviously. But, like I said, he's a great player and he earned that bag that he got. So now it's just time to come and shake it off a little bit and get back in there.
I said that I don't know who's beating the Niners in the NFC. Who do you think is beating the Niners in the NFC?
I'm never going to. Since I've been in the league almost, I don't know if I can say anybody other than when I was on the Packers. I was hoping that we would, obviously, but they even knocked my dreams off a few times. So I don't know, man. They might be the best team in football right now. We'll see how this thing, continues to unfold. But they got a hell of a squad every year.
You hated saying that.
I did. You see that? My back wasn't
in the
kitchen.
Yeah. Who's a contender? Who do you like in the NFC?
You know what? It's so early it's hard to really tell, but I think a couple teams. Philly's always going to be a team that I think is going to be able to make something happen. I know they didn't look the cleanest in that game. They came out with the victory, but they got a great team. It really don't matter. I think the Niners are going on that side. As far as what I've seen right now, That's what it looks like. So
Yeah.
we can sit here and look at these jerseys for inspiration and try to figure all of that out. But I mean, those boys they're some bad boys, and they earn it.
I noticed there's no Kansas City jersey hanging there, and I noticed you said the Niners are the best team in football, so that's a little. I like what you did there. I'm not gonna harp on it, but I do want to talk about the Bengals because it's not only Ayuk that's getting some grief. I mean, Bengals offense comes out looking a little flat. They lose to the Patriots, huge upset, and everybody's blaming Jamar Chase. What is this?
It's the same situation. Had he been out there and was in camp and was participating, they would have never said anything. But people don't understand, the business side of this thing. And people on the outside, they probably hate him and get pissed off. But, I mean, six catches for 62 yards is not like he was just out there. I haven't watched the tape and I didn't get to watch the game. But that's a decent contribution. I wouldn't say it's the most that he can give, but it's also not just about the receiver or the running back or the quarterback, whoever it is. Like I said before, it's about guys coming together, playing good football together, and playing receiver is one of the toughest positions because you don't control but, a very small piece. So, he'll bounce back from that as well. And it's just getting your feet back underneath you first few games. And, I'm sure that they'll be rolling too.
How do you know his stat line?
It's on the screen.
Right now it is. I was like, do you know everyone's stat line that's like a top wide receiver? I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I don't know everybody. Sometimes I go and check. It depends. After games like this last one, I'm more trying to keep my head down and focus and lock in so I can go put up a big game the next game rather than peeping around the whole league. But sometimes you come across things and you see it social media, it's always in your face. So that's how I saw it this time. You literally put it on the screen for me, so you made it nice and easy. Yeah,
things got a little chippy in your game. Let's get into it here. What did it feel like to get your sort of feet under you? You've been at practice. All of that happened. What did you make of that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's the first game. Again, we didn't come out the way that we anticipated, but it's a weird game. Anytime you play against a division opponent, starting the first game, and everybody knows how that last one came out. We kind of handled them, pretty easily out there in Allegiant. So obviously we knew they were going to come out a little fired up, and we just turned the ball over a lot. And obviously, guys fighting and everything. Just we didn't really have our mind all the way right. So it's time to flip that around and make some changes.
I mean, Taylor had that unnecessary roughness penalty on you. Things seemed real chippy. How would you describe this rivalry? Is it a rivalry big time right now?
I mean, any division game for me since I've been in the league is a rivalry. There we got three rivals, and then anybody else that want to be our rival will take you on too. But that's the way I've always looked at it is, anytime you got a division game, like I said, starting the season is the same with the Broncos. It's always going to be a little chippy. Guy came and hit Jacoby, and then we try to we end up getting on him. So it's always going to be a little extra physicality added to it and maybe a little bit of fighting. Hopefully you try to keep that out of it, but sometimes that's just the sway of the game.
Devonte, what good came out of this game? I know it wasn't the result you wanted. What is the good for Raiders fans to listen to that you're building on towards a week 2 bout?
Well, I guess, it's a little bit of a silver lining. It's not great because obviously they don't feel good about us turning the ball over, but with that said, we turned the ball over 3 times and still had an opportunity to go down there and, win the game or tie the game and put ourselves in a position to still compete. And I feel like we played as bad as we possibly could just based off of that. Obviously the turnover battle is one of the biggest contributors to who wins and loses the game. So, without 3 turnovers, I think we go down there, especially in the red zone and being on the plus 50 like that, we got to come down with points. And, we obviously missed a field goal, a couple things that we don't typically do, and it was still a game. So hopefully everybody understands that first game can be a little funny. Getting, we got a new offense, new quarterback, obviously, and all still figuring out how to work together. And, excited about this next week coming up.
Where are you in that process of getting to know your quarterback? You can read Aaron Rodgers' mind. You did it to start this little interview right here. Where are you in that process with your QB?
Well, I don't know exactly where we are, but I know it's really fun working with this guy, and he's the type of dude. One, he's a hell of a guy, and on top of that, his ears are always open, trying to find out ways. Aaron and I did it that made it work. What are some things we did the last 2 years here that worked? And he's always trying to, bring different ideas to me. He wants me to talk to him, and that just breeds a really healthy relationship between a quarterback and a receiver.
I mean, one of those completions with him, it was early. He hit you with anticipation. I was impressed with that. Yeah.
I mean, that's the type of thing. I think he's a big, go with his gut and can kind of, that play right there that they're showing on the screen. I mean, that was just literally perfect timing. He's holding the safety with his eyes, and he knew where to go. So when we're playing confident like that and communicating out there and adjusting on the fly, obviously we know they play a lot of weird coverages to me, so it makes the game a little bit harder. But, when you have that type of mindset he does of getting better and going out there and, making it happen regardless, it gives us a chance. In the middle
of the field, in the window, I loved that play.
Yeah.
Are you hard on him?
I'm hard on everybody. I mean, that's as a leader of this team, that's how it is. I don't really have to be too, crazy, about how hard I'm being on really anybody on this team, because these guys are all grown men. They understand how to work. They're all, there's no egos. Everybody's just shows up at the door, checks the ego, and we come ready to work and work together to figure it out. So makes it easy for me.
I knew you were coming on the show. You're my favorite player, so I'm watching this game, right? And me and everybody else. 4th and 1, fourth quarter. I'm watching this punt team go out there. I know it was on my mind. What was going through your head? Because I don't know that ever happened to you in Green Bay.
Yeah, well, it did. I can think of one specific one, but not to dwell on the past. But obviously the competitor in me is one to go for that. But like I said after the game, my job is to go out there and run routes and catch the ball when I'm called on. And if the head coach has a hunch or a feeling about something based off, I'm sure the way the game has been going, it's tough to when the punt team's running out there to try to challenge them on that. We definitely, it's a very open line of communication between, the head coach and really the whole team, but, especially me. So it's something that we can talk about for sure and try to, him get a gauge on how I feel about it. But
yeah.
In the moment, I think that's what he was feeling, and, I definitely wasn't going to challenge it.
So how do you build off that moment? Like, how do you advocate for your offense?
The short yardage situations throughout the game and just throughout the year, we got to be better and give them a better feeling about it. And obviously we hadn't been moving the ball. I don't think we've been in the red zone all game. So at that point, part of me understands what he's thinking, but, the competitor in me is like, forget that, man. Like, give me the ball and, we'll try to go figure it out. And I'm always figuring that that's the best option. But like I said, as the head coach, you have to make certain calls, and I totally understand, where he came from with that as well.
That's why you're such a good leader. I'm looking at these jerseys in back of you, and I bet all of these guys, like Justin and Ayuk and Chase and Diggs, and they're losing their shit that you have their jerseys in your house, which is insane for them. What is it? And we'll get to Garrett Wilson here in a minute. What is it? Like, I went to 20 camps, and you're the first name out of everybody's mouth, and everybody wants to talk about you. What is that like at this point in your career?
As far as
what is that like to be looked at? Like, I for a fact know all of those guys are geeking out when they see, and I send them this of you.
Yeah, no, it's a great feeling. I just think back to when you and I met, and that was so long ago at this point. Obviously at that point I was a much different player in everybody's eyes, and having their jersey in here, it was basically a one-way street as far as who would be excited. And obviously, we know over time, I've put the work in and taken a lot of pride in my craft, and it's good to see it show. It's good to see that, these guys, because honestly, and not in a bad way, I just think the way my mind gets wrapped up during the game or after a game, I would say 90% of these jerseys here are from the respect of the other guys coming and asking for my jersey. And that's how, we ended up swapping. I've never been a big, let me run up to you and put you on the spot and let me have your jersey after the game. But a lot of these guys I know well, and, they say, hey, man, I need that jersey. And that's kind of how it naturally came. So I guess to answer your question, yes, it's a really good feeling knowing that, I'm somebody that people look forward to putting up in their man cave as well.
Well, you're so talented and you're so skilled, but it wasn't easy for you out the gates. And that's why I loved you as a player, because I think you really outworked everyone. And you can watch your story arc. Every year you get so much better than the year before in every game, and players see that, I think, and love that. I was with, speaking of this Monday night game, we talked Ayuk, whatever. I was at camp, and I sat down with Garrett Wilson, and he told me he was watching a lot. I know he hit you up, too. Aaron Rodgers to Devonte Adams tape was, like, very much on his mind. I asked you if he could ask you one thing, what would it be? And it was so thoughtful, I had to show you.
Is he a reactor or is he a predictor? I kind of know the answer to it. And I think he's the smartest dude ever. I'm not trying to say that. I just think that he has to be reacting. That's me assuming. I don't know. I would love to ask him.
What do you think? Answer his question.
Well, one, I got a lot of respect for that dude, and he's one of my favorite dudes in the league right now, just from being around him a little bit and watching his game and seeing his evolution, talking to Aaron and, picking his brain and just seeing what he's like in the meeting rooms and all of that stuff. So I'm a huge fan of G, and, he's always shown me a lot of respect, so it's mutual for sure. But definitely a reactor. I come to the line with a plan of what I want to do and how I want to run the route. And, my goal is to just always be in the driver's seat regardless. I don't ever want to feel like the DB is controlling the route. So, when I start with my release, if a guy jumps inside and, he combats it with whether it was luck or he saw it coming, I like to react. And, it's kind of like being a boxer a little bit. You can't come out there and just determine you're about to throw a cross, a jab cross, and then a hook. You throw whatever punch, and then based off how he responds, you may have to dodge one first and then throw another punch. So that's basically how I look at my route running, especially releases, getting off the ball. And then, you may not end up with the leverages based off the coverage they play. These teams, we know, God knows that they keep me on my toes with recognizing coverage because they're always doing some exotic stuff, obviously to try to stop us. But, yeah, I'm definitely a reactor, and I feel like that's the best way to be.
Devonte, I'm having so much fun. Breaking down week one, just talking philosophy, talking ball. How about we do this every Tuesday?
I would love it. I'll be here.
You'll be here. Don't get mad at me because I'm gonna bring somebody in, and you don't have his jersey as far as I can tell. So now we've got maybe some drama. CeeDee Lamb, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I need it. Absolutely. I need that,
we got
bro.
some room. You tell me where you want to go, man. Look, we got a whole nother wall going right here. That's what they don't know.
Hey, CeeDee, which wide receiver should he take down to put your jersey up? Let's take a look, Devonte. Let's take a look at who you got.
Take nothing down. Just add me to the list. Just add me to the list.
We got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
CeeDee, do you have a wall like that?
Yeah, but his is a little more elite. I ain't got no Drew Brees.
CeeDee, what's it like to have Devonte? I know he's one of your top 5 wide receivers. I just read that before the show.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's good to see my man's. Really respect his game, respect his craft. Obviously, I've been watching him for a while. I've been reaching out to him for a while too. Obviously, since I've been in college, and he's done a great job of keeping the form of communication. Shout out, bro. Good to see you again. And
congrats to
I'll
you
mimic
too.
my game after you in various ways, you know what I'm saying, as far as releases, because you perfected it, you know what I'm saying? So, again, kudos to you, bro. Appreciate you. Keep leading us, and we follow.
You already know. Appreciate you, bro. Congrats to you on getting that bag, too, man.
I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay, now let's get Jamar Chase figured out, and we'll all be sorted at the wide receiver position. Devonte, by the way, that is news. Devonte will be joining us every Tuesday on the show. Appreciate you. Good luck. Good luck with Marlon Humphrey and company. You got the Ravens week 2. The bounce back for the Raiders is coming, and here we have. Bye, Devonte. Bye.
See you later.
You're the
All right,
best. We do have CeeDee Lamb. What up? 3-time Pro Bowl wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. Newly paid. Congratulations in order. And you're wearing the body armor stuff. Nobody loves body armor more than you. You have been tried and true. You've been with them a long time. What's going on with the partnership?
As you said, been with them for a long time. Going on 5 years. I'm very excited. And, as you can see, well, actually, you know what? I'll show you.
Okay, what is
Got a
it?
little drinky drink going on. Wait, I got to get it right.
Wow.
We got this drink that's going to be released soon. I'm very happy for it to hit the market, do numbers. I want everybody to grab one, taste it, and let me know your feedback. I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal. And, this is just step one of plenty of things that we're going to have going on in the future, and I'm very excited and can't wait to get more into the community.
What is it like having your face on a bottle? What?
I'm not gonna lie. It caught me by surprise when I first walked in. I'm very excited. I was not expecting it, to be honest. I was not expecting it. And it means a lot to me to showcase like everything that I've done on the field. It's showcasing itself, and it's been very beneficial off the field, and just being true to myself, and obviously respecting my partners. And shout out to them, man. Shout out to them.
I love that. You're with Body Armor. You had a lot going on off the field. Let's talk about you on the fence. And I don't know where they were in week 1. You started off so strong, CeeDee. Still in the first quarter, you make this huge grab. I hope we have it. Oh, yeah, over Denzel Ward. You said there was rust? What?
Yeah.
Where?
It was there. Shout out Denzel for sure. Way to compete. But I'm still very competitive player, and with me, I still think I'm definitely at the top of the list in the receivers, and just going out there week in and week out and competing and proving myself and proving it to my teammates that I've been training, that I've been working, and I couldn't wait to be back with those guys and being able to compete with those guys, and I missed every part of it. Can't wait for next week.
There's so much this. I know you're used to it. I know you don't. Yeah. There's so much this. And then you go out and do that. You say, shut up, we beat the Browns. You're underdogs, all this, you can't get, all this is happening. What did that win say about your team?
It was a momentum booster for sure, but just going in, we always had the mindset of that we're going to win every game, as everyone should, but just going out and actually playing together. The defense played phenomenal. Shout out Turk for his first, punt return of the season, and I think it was the first punt return of the season. If I'm not mistaken. All 3 sides of the ball, we play very complimentary. Ultimately, you play a good game like that versus a defense and an offense like that. That's going to be a result. Just play together, play fast, and let the end result let the score do the talking.
Yeah, I feel like you're very patient. You sort of let things happen. I think it sort of led you to getting this amazing 4-year, $136 million contract. Congratulations. How much did you think about Dak in that process when you were trying to get your deal done?
We were texting quite a bit. Obviously, I miss being out there competing with him, fixing our little nuances throughout the offseason. Maybe if a route adjustment, a route stem, what we like. It's just so many things that I feel like we've missed out on. But for us being so in tune together, and all it takes is one text message or one conversation, one phone call, and for us both having the same passion, the same love for the game, I feel like it was fairly easy. But I want what's best for Dak and vice versa. So again, shout out to him for getting that back too. Very exciting moment. Happy to cherish it with him, and we'll be together for the next 5 years.
So are you saying that you were texting about staying together in Dallas? That was important to you?
Yeah, most def. Needed it. I didn't want to start over, and I don't want to go through the whole quarterback carousel situation. And
yeah,
he's the leader of this team. Like, everything goes through Dak. He has the keys to the offense. He has the keys to how we move and how we present ourselves. And the first thing you think about when you see the Cowboys is Dak Prescott, because he's the quarterback of our team. And he does a great job of, keeping a great look on himself, keeping his composure, mentally being locked in, and again, leading us to the promised land.
Is there is it weird with Micah now? Like, what is that like? Do you just not talk about it at all?
Nah, we be talking about it.
Really?
Yeah, we talk about
what
it.
What is he saying?
It's all jokes. It's all jokes until it's not. You know what I'm saying? So for us, it's just keeping the band together, to be honest. It's all keeping us all together. And that's what happens when you draft well. It's going to be amazing, and I can't wait for him to get his bag, well deserved. And but for us this year, we got to finish out the season. We got to play together. We actually got to. I want to be in New Orleans. I want to go back. I want to go back home.
I would love for that to happen. It's got to happen. I want to know why it's going to happen. I saw the Niners last night. Big win. They look like they are in postseason form. Why are you and Dak the ones? Why are we going to do it now? Why now?
We always had that confidence in ourselves, and again, they did look good. They're always a tough opponent, and we know that we're going to see them, or they got to see us, regardless of the situation. We're going to see San Fran in this history of the Cowboys, San Francisco situation has always been a thing. So looking forward to seeing them soon during the season and then again in the postseason.
Love that. And shout out to, Jerry Jones for getting that done. I'm trying to think of a lesson in this. All this talk, and then Dak says, I don't listen to what Jerry says. He gets paid. So is the lesson here to not listen to Jerry?
It's not so much not listening to him. It's just not buying into what the media portrays, so it's kind of a difference. And as for me, obviously it kind of went viral or whatever, but it's not really much of a personal situation. You just gotta stay on your toes, stay locked into what you believe in, and that's yourself and your worth, and let the rest take care of itself. I feel like God makes no mistakes, and He didn't with us.
I have a couple more for you. You are a face of the wide receivers. You just talked to Devonte Adams. You're saying lead us. You're a leader. You are the wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Jamar Chase, he was on that wall behind Davante. I can't believe this deal isn't done.
Yeah, same. But I know for him, it's a very difficult situation mentally. Obviously, physically, he's been playing ball his whole life. So I'm not really worried about him being physically ready, but mentally just be locked in as to what stay true to yourself again, and always just stay true to what you believe in, man. I know this is going to be a tough situation for him, and obviously it's going to be an ongoing conversation because it already started, and everybody's kind of expecting to see his name hit the market. So that's for him, man. The only thing I would say to him, just keep working, keep grinding, bro. It's things that he already know. It's not really I can't tell him anything that he doesn't know already. You're gonna get what you're worth. Again, stay true to what you believe in, know your worth, and the rest will take care of itself.
CeeDee, you're the best. I love that. Now the contract's done. The ink is dry, so now you can tell me. Would you have shown up if you didn't have a deal in place week 1?
No.
What does that say about Jamar? I don't even know what to make of it. I don't know what to say.
It's not really. I don't necessarily say we have the same position. I mean, we play the same position, but in the same position. But as for him, I feel like he's playing it right. He's doing it right, and all it's gonna take is one big game from him to show his worth. And obviously, week 1 is tough for us because we've been holding out. But once we get acclimated and bodies start getting back in the grind of things and playing football again, it's gonna pop out. I have no doubt that he's gonna have a great year this year.
Yeah, I hope he does too. And I get that, final year stuff is different. You were in different, you don't mean different position. You mean you were in different places with your contract and stuff like that, just to clarify. I knew what you were saying. Okay, so I talked to Kevin Durant, right? Huge Commanders fan. I don't know if you know this. Loves the Commanders, loves Jaden. I asked him if he could take one team, just make them poof disappear in the NFL.
Yeah,
look who he said. Look who he said. You're to one NFL team, the biggest pain in your ass. Which team would you pick?
Cowboys easily.
Why?
I just don't like them. I just don't. And I think I had to ask myself why I like the Cowboys. Because I don't hate any teams or any players or I'm a huge fan of a lot of teams, but the Cowboys is that one team I just don't like. And I think it's because a lot of people where I'm from in D.C. have become Cowboys fans.
What is your message to Kevin Durant?
It's crazy. That's actually my favorite basketball player ever. So it's kind of crazy. But no, it's all love, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm lost for words, to be honest. But
you don't have a message for him.
We'll see. I'm sorry to cut you off. But we'll see him in D.C. He needs to come to the game whenever we do travel to, and then maybe we could.
That's your favorite player? That shocks me. That surprises me. You know what I thought you were going to say? I thought you were going to say, let's talk about Oklahoma and Texas and what I did to Texas in my career. Yeah, I thought you were going to go there, no?
I was going to keep, I wanted to keep it civil, but I know he went to Texas and all, but yeah, they had a tough ride for my 3 years.
Yeah. Well, here's the tough ride as we wrap this. And Body Armor probably inspired this run back then, too. Oklahoma has won 5 of the last 6 games in the Red River rivalry. CeeDee went 3-1 against Texas in his career, including a Big 12 championship game win. In your last game against Texas, you had 175 yards and 3 touchdowns. So take that.
KD, I'm sorry, my boy. But Texas ain't got nothing to owe you. That's all I got for you. But, no, it's a great time. They actually brought me to Texas, so shout out Texas.
No, there we go. CeeDee Lamb, we appreciate you, everything you do, of course, with Body Armor. Congratulations on that. You don't need the money, so I know it's something you really believe in with Body Armor. A long, long relationship, longer than any relationship I've ever had. 5 years with Body Armor for CeeDee Lamb. Love you. Talk to you soon.
Appreciate you.
You're the best. Talk to you soon. We'll be back after this big break, big show. Davante Adams and CeeDee Lamb. We're going to get a jersey up in Casa de Adams in Vegas. All is well here. We'll be back to break down more from Monday Night Football next. Can I please just have 10 seconds? Oh, man. Thanks. Okay, sorry, what were you going to say? Go ahead, please. Richard, please, go ahead. We're going to have to do 2 breaks here? Okay. Okay. Okay, great. Hamilton, what did we miss with him, with CeeDee? I feel like we didn't get to something.
Definitely got to the big stuff.
Who he's tracking, because Justin said he's tracking him.
Yeah.
That would have been fun to hear.
And the matchup with the Saints, Lattimore.
I have to go back and rewatch what he said about. Was he saying to Devonte that his releases? Was he saying? I have to watch that again.
Yeah. I think that's why they all love Devonte too, is because like he's such a technician, as you were mentioning. Like he worked himself into the player that he is, and he's like technically the best one to watch.
Is there someone who is similar to him in that way?
As far as like the work ethic,
it's fair to say it wasn't easy. Like he didn't have success in year one. Yeah,
those first couple of years. And his first year he had 446 yards. Second year at 483, and then it exploded from there once he, got in sync with Aaron.
How about my dumbass thinking he memorized everyone's stats from week 1?
I read it on the screen.
I just heard 6 for 62. I go, huh? Like, why do you know that? I thought I was going to be so cute and like, what a good host that I sussed that out, that it's top of mind for Devonte Adams. He's keeping track of everybody. Like, I'm such an idiot. That's literally what I thought.
Shout out to Corshane for having that on the graphic.
Should we get the Adams family thing now? We did. How'd it go? It went really well. I just thought, calm down. First of all, you called me. I saw Kat taking like B-roll of the screen, so I thought that's why we didn't get it, because she was amazing as Kat is, trying to figure Plan B out. I know you were getting a backup. That's what I saw.
Let's maybe get you doing one.
Oh, can we do this? I only have 30. We have another break after this, then, right? In this next break, I want to do that on camera for our Adams family tiki-taki. We got Devonte to do it.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm not doing it now. We have 10 seconds. No, thank you. No, we have to do the whole show. No. We got it with him with the cadence, right?
It doesn't matter. I got him doing it with no sound and it worked. I'll show you.
But they didn't have a jump cut. Is Devonte just the greatest? Well, you can't pick up Davante Adams and you can't pick up CeeDee Lamb. Nope, they're taken everywhere across all fantasy leagues in the land. But here's who I think you should grab. Ooh, a little mysterious. Baker Mayfield. Wow. Hamilton and I didn't even text about this, but I wanted Baker Mayfield, still rostered in like 30% of leagues, coming off a 4-touchdown performance. He's not going to be available. Go get him. Lions, Eagles the next 3 weeks. Obviously, they gave up a ton of air yards at least to start the season. If you lost Jordan Love, scoop up Baker Mayfield in daily, playing him all day. Next up, Jordan Mason. Just so you know, Hamilton and I, before the show, on a text chain with Richard, said we got to get Jordan Mason in here. Before the game, I didn't even scratch any of that. 152 yards, 29 touches last night. If he gets any work, if CMC misses a few games, and because he's got every leg issue known to man, I'd say he's going to get some run here. So get Jordan Mason. Wide receiver, Alec Pierce. Anyone? Bueller? Anyone listening? He was Anthony Richardson's go-to deep threat out of nowhere on Sunday. He hauled in 3 for 125 in his score. This might be boomer bust. This might have been a thing, but worth rostering the way he and Richardson clearly had some connection in a huge game against the Texans. Oh, barely lost that one. Hated that. And my number one target for the week, it's Isaiah Likely. Been talking about him all offseason. I loved people on Twitter pointing that out. Thank you. Appreciate it. He scored nearly double the next closest tight end this week, and this is just 18% rosterage. Made up a word for Isaiah Likely. It's clear he's going to have a big role. Andrews, no Andrews, it's Likely time. So grab him while you can. We will be back. We'll give out some attaboys to end things on a positive note on a tremendous Tuesday. One of those days that I feel really grateful to do what I do. Loved talking to those two. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. Are you going to play it?
Yeah, I can play it.
No, Kat's got it. Kat's got it. Oh my God, you are just like, you don't get it at all. Like the amount of not getting it that you don't get it is truly staggering. Go ahead, babe. I have to do, he did a serious face?
Yeah, he was pretty serious.
Okay, good. I'm gonna take my ear out because he's gonna bother me. I hate Richard, oh my God. The way that I hate Richard, I can only hate anybody else. Something about Richards. Hold on, I can't laugh.
While you're settling, let me
Go ahead.
the draft.
I can't, I'm laughing. Hold on. Keep playing it. One more. Good? Sorry? Say it again? I think they understand what's up. It's called breaking down the fourth wall. I know it makes you old school dinosaur television guys uncomfortable, but it's like the new way. Sloppy, messy. What do you mean? It's your last, that's your nickname, no? Isn't that just another way to say your name? I think so. I think in the parlance of our times. Okay, what do we have left here?
We've got attaboys.
Okay. Hammy, I missed the Baker, but I was thinking, did I text you Baker or did I text you Baker?
No, we're just on the same page.
I was thinking about that. I'm glad you picked them. Hammy picked those. How on top of Mason were we, though? Weren't you mad the show wasn't yesterday at 5?
That's great.
I just don't have, I don't know, I just have a weird feeling about that one. Okay, tomorrow, can I have a little...
Gronk day.
Okay, great.
We got to make up for this parlay, too.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Is it? I thought that was next week. I'm out of it. If you guys knew how little I watch any television. Big show on a Tuesday on True TV as part of TNT Sports. We love that. We love being as part of MSG, which I'm sure enjoyed watching Devonte Adams break down Aaron Rodgers, saying he doesn't have rust, he'll be just fine, he's great. Got to fix the O-line potentially. He said he didn't want to talk about that. Coaching? Lots to talk about. But we like to end things on a positive note, so let's do it. This is if you're new to our show. We like to give little dap-ups, little shout-outs, little love, pats on the back. We call them attaboys. Attaboys. Oh, come closer. Why are you doing what's going on over there? Week 1 performances that I loved. Add your own, and you can just start screaming in your living room or in accounting. What is it screaming? Attaboy. Thank you, J.K. Dobbins. We fell in love with him in training camp. Unbelievable. He had 10 carries for 135 yards. He rehabbed with Aaron Rodgers with his Achilles. Those are friends. This happens against Devonte Adams' Raiders. Sorry, hopefully he's not watching right now. I spoke to him during my training camp visit, and he's just in a very good place. He's pure joy back on the field, and he's been through a lot of adversity, like I'm talking about in his young career. I'm happy to see him thriving already in LA. Loves Greg Roman. Obviously loves Jim, quite an actor, Jim. Speaking of commercials, he was in that whatever that commercial was. Excellent acting by Jim Harbaugh. I didn't see that coming. Next up, let's give a attaboy, attababy. Attababy. Stephon Diggs. Loved seeing this. I told you, is there any chance he doesn't thrive? No, he loves Houston. I feel like I didn't give Nico Collins credit, though, so he's getting an attaboy double time on our show because we can't let this just go under the radar. 6 catches, 117 yards in the win over Indy. Beyond the numbers, the play of the game you just saw. Unbelievable. 2-minute warning, 3rd and 11. Texans cling into a 2-point lead, and he makes this diving grab, gets his knee down, inbounds, no toe issue, no anything, no foot finder stuff to talk about here. It's in, and he picks up the first down, making sure that Anthony Richardson, who was uncorking him, didn't get to touch the ball all day. So we love Nico Collins. Atta baby!
Atta boy!
Atta boy!
Atta baby!
I sound like I'm a 3-year-old. Atta baby! I sound like I've drunk like 9 things of helium. Okay, I'm not a helium girl. Nitrous Pronox at the dentist office? Absolutely. Attaboy for that. Okay, last but not least, let's give some love to the defensive side of the ball. The last one of the day we're going to give to former Bills edge rusher, Greg Rousseau. Not 1, not 2, 3. 3 sacks of Kyler Murray, right? Including this strip sack that led to the Bills' go-ahead touchdown late in the third quarter. Tough to contain Kyler, as we saw. Healthy Kyler, motivated Kyler, week 1 Kyler, but Rousseau sort of got to him consistently. He was a pain in his ass all day, so yeah.
Attaboy! 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 3 sacks.
Come over here. Get over here. You and I, come sit.
Oh, sitting. Okay.
You and I are in Hamilton. What would you say? Just like preseason week 2 form. That was our cadence is off. We've got rust. Hamilton.
They got rid of my podium.
Hamilton's not even here. No one's listening to us calling for Hamilton.
I have no idea what this man said.
I enjoyed the energy. I enjoyed the effort.
He enjoys the energy.
Oh, he does.
He enjoys it. It literally says stop for screaming. And let's try this again. I think did I also say Greg Rousseau was a former? But what did I say? I said something that
former Bills first round,
not former Bill, guys. I flubbed that up. Let's get to where this needs to be. Let's read. This is not fair to. We should not have even said Rousseau's name by this. Okay, we have to give him love. He did make things real crappy for Kyler all day long, and yeah, he is a former first-round pick. You like seeing him get his moment, right? That we need games like this from this pass rush, right? So Rousseau.
Attaboy!
We have work to do.
Yeah, we do.
We're gonna get in the lab and get that. Did you have a Packers hat on?
Oh hell yeah, I do. We're all good.
This dude gets to produce Devonte Adams every freaking week. Devonte Adams is on our show every Tuesday. Let's go!
Adam squared.
We'll see you tomorrow for Monday, Tuesday.
Crop day.
That was well done. Well done. Oh man.